Hey everyone, I'm trying out for you guys today the Sephora Pro Pigment palette. It's huge. This is the cool version. I have this on today and I definitely have an opinion about it. Guess what? I always do, don't I? This is a very pink heavy palette. Lots of pinks in here. I'm kind of surprised not to see any purples in here. We're real heavy on the berry tones, the pink tones. There's lots of pink in here. There's a little bit of purple, but I kind of am surprised they did not throw in a couple of actual sort of deep purples or plums or something. That's kind of weird to me. Anyway, I'll tell you all about that. I've also got on today, and this is the Stila Stay All Day foundation and concealer. It is all in one. It is an all-in-one package. You have a little concealer in the top here, a little pot of concealer with a mirror. Cute, huh? And then you have the stick foundation. I have been trying my very best all summer to find a stick foundation that I like and that will stay on and that is easy to work with and that actually covers. And I've got a couple of them here today and I'm trying this one out. I've tried this one out for several days trying to get it to stay all day, and I'm trying again today. And we also have a new highlighter from Ciate. Ooh, this is so pretty. This one's called Moondust. I have it on today. I'll show you. Look at the packaging. See how the stars are kind of 3D in there? Some of them are on the very surface and some of them are underneath these sort of enamel coating. That's just so cool. But first, this incredibly expensive Sephora Pro palette. So this has 28 colors in it. I got the cool one. There's a warm one and there's one that is all brights. I think it's editorial colors or something like that. I got the cool one because I felt like I had enough warm colors, especially the kinds of colors that I was seeing in that particular palette. I feel like I had repeats of those. So I'm really glad that I got the cool one instead of the warm one because I thought these were a little more unusual, a little on the gray side, a lot of pinks, which I do like pink in my eyeshadow. But this palette overall for me is a miss. I will tell you why. I'm not going to swatch all of these, but I will swatch some of my favorites in here. We have a mix of sort of shimmers. We have a mix of glitters, but they're very lightweight glitters. And then we have mattes. The mattes overall on this palette are not bad. I'll swatch some of my favorite colors on here for you. I have major problems with the glitters, all of the glitters on this palette. This does come with one of these clear oversheets with the names on it, so that's how I will go by the names. Okay, here are some of my favorite colors on here. Starting with this one up here, it's a matte, it's called Violet Gray. This one here is a shimmer. That one is called Orchid Mist. It's a little tiny bit purple there. This color is called Orchid, a nice matte. This beautiful silver over here is called Sketch. The color here is called Hot Chocolate. Another matte. Then we have this one called Mauve. This shimmer is called Rosé. And this is a beautiful berry color, and it's called I think it's Crocus, but it's spelled funny. It's not spelled like crocus that I've ever seen. Color down here is called Hot Chocolate. Next to that we have Coffee, we have Rosé, Mushroom, and we have Espresso. These are really the standouts to me on this palette. They're really the prettiest colors on the palette. Then we have major problems with some of the others. There are 4 glitters on here that really just kind of spoil the whole palette because they are such terrible glitters. So we're used to the sort of chunky feeling glitters that feel kind of greasy and then they have the chunks of glitter in them. That is not the case with these. These are just extremely thin, fine glitters with no real background color to them, no real background to them. They're terrible. They remind me of play makeup that you get in some sort of little children's eyeshadow kit or makeup kit. I will show you what I'm talking about. First of all, we have the color called Tulle. Let me swatch it for you. So that's what it looks like on your finger. Ugly, right? So you put it on and that's what it looks like. I mean, what is that? So what am I supposed to do with that? I'm going to try these out with a wet brush in just a minute and we'll see if that improves any of them. This is just a powdery mess, a powdery glitter mess. Next we have Pink Champagne. Same sort of deal. Now if you look at it in the pan, it reminds me a lot of a really pretty color in the Huda Beauty palette, but it is not. This one is marginally better than the other one, but then when you put it on your skin, it doesn't really show up because it is just, there's nothing to the back. There's nothing backing it up. It's just very strange. These glitters are very strange. Then in the bottom corner we have Moon. Moon, it looks like it would be a gorgeous silvery gray glitter. It's very, very thin. There's just no... And this is putting it on with my finger, so you would think, you know, some glitters really require you to put them on with your finger to sort of pat them into place. These are not responding to the whole finger method. Next to that we have Rosewood. I was so excited when I got this palette and I saw this color because it is just, it's beautiful. In the pan, it's gorgeous. It's an orchid purple. It has blue micro glitter in it. See the micro glitter in there? You put it on, it's a mess. And yeah, it's just like, bleh. I mean, it's very sheer. You can kind of see some of the glitter. But these two are just terrible. And then that first one I put on, I wiped that right off. It's terrible. This one's a little better, but I was just so excited about that color, and it's just not glittering at all. Putting these on with a brush is a total fail. The brush picks up nothing. It picks up absolutely nothing on these glitter colors. Okay, first I'm going to use my wonderful Urban Decay Moondust shadow brush to try to pick up that one called Pink Champagne, because this brush is really good for picking up flaky, weird, you know, sort of glittery eyeshadows. I put it on right here. You cannot even see it. Let's try a couple of these eyeshadows with a wet brush. I'm going to give this palette every consideration that I can give it to see if I can get it to do something. It's just a wet goopy mess now. There's no color there. There's no pickup. There's nothing. The best one is the Rosewood color, and that is sort of making a goopy mess. I put it on with a wet brush. It's sort of goopy, and yeah, it doesn't really look a whole lot better than putting it on with your finger. So there are some real misses in this palette, and it kind of spoils the whole thing for me. I don't see myself using these grays. I don't see myself using these sort of really off-whites. I did use one color, or this ballet pink. I did use one of these for a highlight today. The browns are good on here, and some of these mattes are really good. The mattes feel a little dry when you touch them with your finger in the palette, but on a brush they pick up really well, and there's not a lot of fluff or fallout. That's good for mattes. A lot of times mattes can be very soft and fallouty. Just those glitter, the three glitter colors are just kind of spoiling this for me. This is not a cheap palette. It is very expensive, and those three colors are just such bad quality. They just kind of screw up the whole palette for me. I don't know. So let us get on to what I did today. So I started out in the crease with the color called Flax. That is a beautiful transition color. They have two really nice transition colors in this palette. This is one of them. Spread very nicely and evenly. And then I put a little mushroom in sort of more of the inner crease to deepen that. That is a very cool light tan. On my lid I used Orchid Mist. That is very pretty. It's a metallic color. Outer part of my lid I used Crocus. This berry color, the dark berry color. How about that? Beautiful color, beautiful. Just, it doesn't have too much red in it or too much pink in it to make it look funny on your eyes. I even lined under my eyes with it. Really nice color there, beautiful berry. Very outer corner I used some espresso. Really good mattes on this palette, and the satins or the satins or the shimmers are very soft. They feel very moist and nice. And then I felt like I needed a little purple in my crease, so I put the color called Orchid just very lightly in my inner crease. I did use the color called Seashell as my highlighter. Very nice. And I did line under my eyes with the Croquis. I do feel that these are unusual color selections. You don't get a lot of palettes like this that have no purple in them at all. This is a very pink and gray palette, very pink and gray. And so I think, and then it has a lot of browns in it. So I think the palette is pretty overall. It has some real misses in it though. I am trying out today, I've been on the hunt for a while for a really good stick foundation, because stick foundations are very quick and easy. You can streak them on, you can blend them in, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time as like a liquid pump foundation would. So I'm trying out the Stila Stay All Day Cover Powder Finish Foundation and Cream Concealer. This is an all-in-one product. And I like the packaging on it. I like the way they did the concealer at the top. And then the stick foundation is in the rest of it. Color I got is called number 2 Fair. So this is supposed to be a stay all day type of formula. I have not so far had any luck with that. It has just been sort of a couple of hours. It will start to sort of draw up in places, especially on my nose, and I have problems with that. So I put it on heavier today. Here's how I put it on. I did draw it on today. I just drew it directly on my face. No primer, because I feel like a stick foundation is not something you should have to put a primer on beforehand. A stick foundation should be quick and easy. Drew it on, threw it on there, blended it around. I did use a wet sponge to blend it. I have not found a better way to blend it around. This is a little bit of a stiffer formula. It is not super greasy feeling. It doesn't glide really super easily. You do have to work a little bit to get it around. But the problem I'm having with it, the coverage is good, the finish is good, it is a nice dewy finish, it does not matte or dry, it doesn't look heavy. The problem I have is that it is not a stay all day foundation. It is not staying for long periods of time on my skin. So I did put it on heavier today, thinking maybe that was the problem. I've had it on for a couple of hours now. I'm about to go and run out and do some things, and then I will come back and let you guys know how it held up today. So I powdered as normal, as usual, and it does look very dewy. I do like the coverage. I feel like I have a lot of makeup on today, though. I feel like it is very, you can see how heavy it is right through here. I put so much of it on today. I feel like I have a lot of makeup on today. So I don't know if this is what it takes to make it stay all day. I think it's a little much for me. I'm going to try it out. I'm also wearing the concealer. I have not, these last few days that I've been wearing this product, liked the concealer, so I gave up on it. But I wore it today for you guys so you can see what it looks like and what the coverage is like. The concealer is very soft and very sort of oily feeling. It's a solid concealer. You dip into it with your finger. Let me show you these products on the back of my hand. So it's a very sort of sticky, it's very creamy, very creamy. Creamy concealers do not do well on me because they don't stay. They don't stay very well, and I do powder them. I did powder this down today. What I did today that was a little different is I did work some of the stick foundation up under my eyes with my beauty blender to try to make sort of a base to put this concealer on top of. So that's what I did. I just put a little of the concealer on top of the foundation under my eyes. Let me show you the foundation on the back of my hand. It's a nice big stick, wide stick. And there it is right there. This one is number 2 Fair. It's a little deep for me, not for the back of my hand, but for my face. Anyway, so that's what those look like. I do have powder on under my eyes. I've been using my Kat Von D Lock-It powder, pressed powder that's really good for setting my under eyes. That's what I found lately. So we're going to see, and I'm feeling so cakey under here. I have so much makeup on. We're going to see how this holds out. I'm going to go do some stuff, and I'll be back to let you guys know. But first, let's talk about the Ciate highlighter. They have a couple of new highlighters out. This is a beautiful package. It's like an enamel. So this is Moondust. I did get it in the mail and it was cracked. Can you see that crack all the way around so that this front piece could just fall out at any minute? I did go back in with my finger and sort of press that sort of crack closed as best I can. I think it's okay as long as I don't hold it upside down too much. I do like the little embossed stars on there. That's very cute. So I have this on today. It's a gorgeous, very light neutral pink, very neutral pink. It reminds me a lot of the rose gold Becca highlighter that's been so popular, and I use that one a lot because I like the neutrality of it. I don't want a super pink highlighter to be too pink. This is a real pink champagne, and it is very metallic, very creamy feeling. It has just the slightest hint of pink. It's so pretty. It's like a ballerina pink, and it goes on really nicely. No glitter, just glow. I really like it. It's a beautiful color. They do make another shade that I would like to get. It's more of a golden champagne metallic. There it is, blended sort of out. Very, very pretty. So I'm going to go run around and get back to you guys. Okay, it's been a few more hours. I took my lipstick off, and the Stila is still intact. It's still doing pretty well. I think the answer on this one is to apply it a little bit heavier, and that will keep it on your face for longer. It is a little bit breaking up right around through here, which is a place I always have problems with foundation breaking up, if it's going to break up and kind of give out on me. And then, of course, I have the blotting of the concealer of my mascara onto my concealer under my eyes. That is because this concealer is very creamy, very watery. It doesn't set up like Shape Tape, and you know, it doesn't stay in place really well like something like that. This Ciate highlighter is still going strong and the eyeshadow is still going strong too. So I think the answer on this Stila is really put it on fairly heavy, and it's just, I just have not found the ultimate stick foundation yet. I did like the Vanish from Hourglass for a while there, but then I noticed it was starting to sort of draw up and fade away when I was wearing it for long periods of time. I did spray my entire face with Urban Decay all-nighter, so that should hold it in place pretty well. So that's all I have for you today, and lots more things coming up. I have an Amuse-Bouche lip lacquer from Bite I really, really like. I have to tell you guys about. So I'll see you next time.